Okay, let's move on to something else. Let's do handhelds. Okay. Uh, for the 3DS, along with the other Spyro stuff, I got Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, which I thought was kind of cool. It comes with a little mini portal, and it's completely different from the other game, and it works a little differently than the other game too. You store two or three of them onto your DS, and you can just take them with you and switch them in and out. And I think it's pretty neat that whatever you like level wise you gain in this, you can transfer over to the console version. So I don't know, it's a pretty cool dynamic. I liked it. I thought it was a fun game. The next I got Harvest Moon 3D: A New Beginning, and this is just fantastic. Like, this is one of the best Harvest Moons I have played since Harvest Moon 64. I cannot give this game enough praise. Like, me and my wife are absolutely addicted to it. Like, we're literally fighting over the 3DS to have our turn to play it. um, I had heard the one before it, A Tale of Two Towns, wasn't that good, but this one is just fantastic. I highly recommend getting it if you're a fan of Harvest Moon. Then I also got Fire Emblem Awakening, and this is my first Fire Emblem game. I haven't, I've actually kind of steered clear of the series because I heard, we don't have all of them over here stateside, and the ones we do have, I thought don't necessarily go in the correct order or whatever. And plus, it's a strategy game. I'm not big into, strategy games, so. But this was a ton of fun. Like, oh my god, I played the demo on the 3DS, and that's what made me go get this. Just an amazing game. The story was great. The characters were great. The battle system was so much fun. Definitely recommend this game. Then I also got Super Mario Brothers 2, or well, New Super Mario Brothers 2, and I like literally just got this. So I haven't put too much time into it. So far, it looks like more of the same, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. I love Mario. I haven't tried out any of the new modes or anything like that, so I'm looking forward to getting deeper into this and seeing what all is there. And the last thing for the 3DS I got was Code of Princess, and I love that Atlas does this kind of cool stuff for their games. They put them in like these really nice boxes, and I'll pan over to a different screenshot of all the goodies inside and stuff, but there's like a soundtrack and a mini art book, and not many companies do that kind of stuff, and I wish they did. It's a shame, but Atlas and Xseed are definitely like the two best companies when it comes to that kind of stuff. But this is like it's either a successor to, or it's in the same vein as Guardian Heroes on the Saturn. You fight on 3 planes, and it's a brawler. You beat up the bad guys, progress to the next level. There's lots of customization for your characters and stuff, and I thought it was fun. I mean, it's not the most fantastic game, but I thought it was pretty cool for what it was. And then next, for handhelds, I got a couple Game Boy Advance games. I got Sonic Advance 3, which I always wanted, and I never, for whatever reason, when this was relevant, I never got it. I had the first two, and I really liked them a lot. A lot of the other Sonic games haven't been able to mimic the Genesis ones, but this one's pretty close, or, the Advance series is pretty close in my opinion. I thought it was a lot of fun. And then I got an amazing deal on eBay for both of these. The Legend of Goku 1 and 2 in the box, complete. I only got this for $15 for both of them, so that was a very, very cool deal. And I love these games. I used to play them to death, especially 2, back in the day when they first came out. And now I just need to get Boo's Fury, and I'll have all of them. So yeah, super excited about that. The very good RPGs. Highly recommend this for people that like Dragon Ball Z and like role-playing games. Okay, for the Super Nintendo, I picked up Jurassic Park. I got it for dirt freaking cheap because this game is not that good. The Genesis games were great, but this one was kind of horrible. Like the regular Nintendo, the NES one was pretty bad too. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Jurassic Park. I actually just went and saw the movie in 3D, so that's pretty cool. But Jurassic Park. And also, for the Super Nintendo, I got Stunt Race FX. I got this pretty cheap at a yard sale, and I thought it was a cool racer. It really pushes the Super Nintendo hardware to the max, you know, to the limit. And it's a cool racer, but it's like the Super Nintendo can't keep up with it almost, you know. It's I don't know, but it's still pretty fun for what it is. Okay, for the NES, I picked up Bigfoot. I used to love Bigfoot when I was a kid. I used to have all these VHS tapes of Bigfoot, and I'd watch them. I was fascinated with monster trucks when I was little, so you know what? I figured, you know, Bigfoot. It's got to be okay, you know, for $1, not that big a deal. And then I got Cobra Triangle, which is actually a pretty fun boat game. This is not at all what I thought it was. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was pleasantly surprised. It's actually a pretty fun game. It's a bit challenging, but it's a lot of fun. And then for the 64, I got One Lone Game. I've almost got every single game for the Nintendo 64 that I've ever really cared about or wanted. Unfortunately, most, like 90% of them aren't in a box, but it's whatever. Cruising USA, I was really in the mood for an arcade racer, and you don't see too many of them nowadays, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, Cruising USA, how can you go wrong with that, right? It's a classic. I also got a Sega Master System off of eBay for a pretty good price, I think. I only paid like 50 bucks for it, and it's pretty much in brand new shape. Yeah, I can't complain. It's something I've never had, but I've always wanted. Like I've always been on the fence about it, and for the past couple years now, I wanted to get one, but never did. So finally got one, and it came with a game. It came with Pro Wrestling, which is fucking terrible. This game is garbage. Oh my god, it's horrible. But anyway, so that was shit. So I had to order a game, something to give me, you know, make this worthwhile playing for now. I can't wait. I hope to get a bunch of games for it. There's a bunch I want to play, but I got Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and it's pretty cool because it's not the same as Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Genesis at all. Like all the levels are completely different, and you know, it's impressive. The Sega Master System is pretty impressive. I was talking to my brother earlier, and I'm pretty shocked at how it didn't take off in America the way the NES did, considering that it has better graphics than the NES. I mean, the colors are more vibrant. The graphics are just all around better. Like I'm just shocked. But I can't wait to get more games like Gorvelius and the Valley of Doom, and what's the other one? Rastan, I think is one I want. The Wonder Boy series. I want to get a few games from that. So yeah, thought that was pretty neat. And then for the PlayStation 2, I got a few games. I got The Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. I'm trying to get all of the original trilogy, the Sands of Time trilogy. I need to find Sands of Time. That was the first game I played. I got this, and then I just need the Two Thrones game. And I've never played this or the Two Thrones. I want to get Sands of Time and beat that first before I play this or the other one. But they both look good, and I really like the Prince of Persia games. So, yep, there's that. And then for the PS2, I also got The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. This is a series I've been wanting to get into for a while now. I've read the basic storyline to this, the second and the third game, and they sound so good. Like, I really like the story to this one. And so far the gameplay is pretty good too. It's a little different than your traditional Spyro. It's still got some of the same gameplay, but with a more beat 'em up, you know, kind of mechanic, and I like it. I think it's pretty good so far. The only thing that kind of sucks, and it's weird because I don't hate David Spade, but his character is just so monotone and forced. It just sounds like he doesn't give a shit about what he's reading as far as the script goes. Which is, he does the character Sparks, which is Spyro's partner. Now, Elijah Wood does Spyro in this, and he does a fantastic job. A lot of the other voice actors are really good. For some reason, David Spade is just kind of, you know, whatever. But so far, I like it. And next, I got Space Channel 5 Special Edition for the PS2. I'm a huge fan of Space Channel 5. I suck so bad at them. Like, good lord, I am terrible at these. And that's saying something, considering I'm a musician and I do have rhythm. So I don't know what my problem is. I'm usually good at rhythm games, but not Space Channel 5. I suck at it. But I love the character, Ulala, and I love the game, and I like it a lot, even though I'm terrible at it. And then I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up, which is kind of like a brawl or Smash Bros. Melee type of gameplay kind of game, but with turtles. It's not that good, but I'm a huge Turtles fan. I have if there's a Turtles game, I want it. I'm just that big of a fan. And one cool thing I did like about this was that it comes with a comic book that you can only get with the game. So I thought that was pretty neat. So, whatever, it's not that bad. I only got it for a couple bucks anyway, so it's whatever. And then lastly, for the PS2, I got Final Fantasy 12 Collector's Edition for $2. Not bad if you ask me. I'm not the biggest fan of 12. It's okay. It's not the greatest. I personally think after, once they hit 10, the series has just been kind of, eh. They're not bad, but they're not that great. 13 is a fucking abortion. That is a horrible Final Fantasy. I really hope they just either change what they're doing drastically or just stop. Yeah, anyway, I got this for $2. Pretty cool. And then the following day, I got this at a Goodwill. I mean, what are the odds, So close together. For like $3. So $5 total for both these. The limited edition strategy guide for Final Fantasy 12. So, it's not my favorite Final Fantasy, but it's still pretty neat to have all of this together for only $5. So, can't go wrong with that. Okay, moving on to PlayStation 1, I got Jet Moto 2, and I've been wanting to play this for a while now. I don't know why, I had this huge craving to play this game. And I found it at a pawn shop for $1, so I figured, what the hell, why not? I normally typically avoid the greatest hits, but sometimes when you see a deal for them, you just gotta take it. And I was playing it, and you know what? I remember playing this and thinking it was like the coolest thing ever when I was younger, and this had first come out. And my God, the controls are so clunky now. Like it's almost like it's not finished, because there are so many times that you will go flying through. Like, you'll go and jump off something and just go completely through the level and die. And that happened on a lot of the tracks a lot of the time. Other than that, I was still having a lot of fun, especially once you get kind of a feel for the clunky controls. But Jet Moto 2, it's a classic. You can't go wrong with it. I still enjoy it, even though it was kind of bad. And then I got Destruction Derby 2 for the PlayStation. I originally had this for the PC back in the day, and I used to think this was like the coolest racing game ever. I love the derby mode, blowing the cars up and everything. The controls, they're okay. They're, eh. It's an okay racer at that. The fun part is the derby part, blowing up the cars and running into stuff. Lots of fun to be had there. And then I found this for $3 at a pawn shop. Final Fantasy Anthology. I don't have this at all, so greatest hits. Boo, not a fan. If it's $3, you really can't complain. I mean, $3, yeah, you would buy it. It's got Final Fantasy V. I'm excited to play that again. I haven't played that in so long, since I was in 9th grade. I'm 27 now, so that was a while ago. Yeah, Final Fantasy Anthology. I am excited to play 5, and it's Final Fantasy. You can't go wrong. Then lastly, for the PlayStation 1, I got Fear Effect, and this is a game that I've been wanting to get for a while now, because I've always thought the gameplay looked very, very interesting. I'm not very far. I literally just started and played only 15 minutes of it, and so far the controls feel so wonky and weird, but I think it's just one of those things you got to get used to. But I really like it, because it's just so different, and it's just different, So I'm excited to get further into this game.